Okay, so let's get started by opening Etsy.com. So, as you can see, Etsy is really like any other website. There's a homepage that has new items and trending items, and maybe some things that Etsy thinks you'll be interested in. And then at the top, you have categories and a search bar, which is great if you're looking for something specific. You can also make an account by clicking Sign in the top right corner. You do not have to have an account to buy something on Etsy, though I recommend making one if you plan on buying from multiple shops because it's just easier to keep track of your orders. Also, if you plan on buying digital items, it is better to have an account because it's easier to access those files if you lose them. So, messaging a shop owner on Etsy is really quite simple. On every shop page, there is a contact button at the top right area. There is also a second button labeled as Contact Shop Owner, which is underneath the items column on the left. So, if you have a problem with your order or if you have any questions, the easiest route is to contact the shop owner, not Etsy. So something important about Etsy to know is that everything that is sold on there is made by individual shops that are run by hobbyists or professionals or even larger businesses. So Etsy is not responsible for any issues with an order, nor does Etsy itself actually sell anything other than the service of being able to sell items on their platform. So you do not have to fill out the help with order form or contact Etsy to message a shop. Only if you have serious problems with the shop owner or an order, then you need to contact Etsy support. So, like if you cannot get in touch with the shop owner or if you never received your item, this is when Etsy can step in and help you out with that. So, shop pages are pretty standard, but there are a few areas to pay attention to. The first one being shop policies, which are found at the bottom of a shop. So this is important because this is where you're going to find information about returns and cancellations. Etsy does have standard policies, but shops can create their own, and these are going to vary from shop to shop. And the most important thing to note is the return policy. So another area of focus is going to be the listing itself. So there's a big black button to add the item to your cart, and I also recommend looking at the pictures for more information on the item you're looking at. Another very important aspect of the listing is going to be the description, which is found below the Add to Cart button. So the description is going to have additional information about a product. Please read this. I know it's not common for people in general to read descriptions. I myself am guilty of this. It will help to make sure that you are getting what you want though. So most shops will have extra information here, things like size or materials used. Also, remember you are dealing with individual sellers with individual policies on Etsy, and you may not be able to return something once you've purchased it. So again, just really make sure you look fully at the listing, and you can message a seller anytime if you have any questions. Something a lot of people are concerned about is getting scammed or ripped off. I love that Etsy provides a community for handmade items, but just because something is being sold on Etsy does not mean it is handmade or that it was made by a small business. So, first, large retailers can sell on Etsy. In fact, many retailers that sell on places like Amazon also sell on Etsy, which is normal and is fine, but it's just something to be aware of. Second, there are also resellers on Etsy, and these are people who buy cheap items from Amazon, Shein, AliExpress, and Wish, and then they resell the items for 5 or 10 times the cost, which is really unethical and goes against Etsy's policy. So, there are a few things to look for to avoid getting scammed or ripped off. The first thing to do is to check reviews. So, what are people saying about the quality of a product or the customer service? Poor or non existent customer service is a red flag. Another thing you can do is to check the photos. Are they pixelated? This means that a photo is likely being recycled around the internet and is being saved and then re-uploaded. Is the photo being used on multiple listings? So, for example, if you go into Etsy search, are there multiple items from multiple shops selling the same exact thing? You can also check other websites. So, is it being sold on Amazon, Shein, AliExpress, or Wish? You can also do a Google image search. So, how you do this is to save the image and then go to Images on Google and upload it there to see if the photo comes up anywhere else. So, what do you do if you are scammed by a shop? So, I actually have been scammed before, several times actually, and Etsy usually steps in to take care of it. So, for example, it was Halloween either last year or the year before. I was looking for a witch hat, and I'm just curious to see what comes up here on Etsy. But basically, the person was using photos that were not their own and they were never fulfilling orders, so I did not receive the item that I had purchased, but Etsy did step in, and I believe they shut the shop down and refunded my order. This is actually the hat right here. I have no clue what the shop is, but I've seen these pictures all over. They could just be recreating a similar hat, so I don't want to speak negatively of this shop, but basically these were the hats that the person was selling, and they were scamming people. They weren't fulfilling any of the orders. So, what to do if you have been scammed? If a item has shipped but was never delivered, then I recommend contacting the shipping carrier. So that's going to be FedEx or USPS. If an item never ships, then I recommend contacting the shop. And if you never get a reply from a shop owner or they don't want to help, this is when you need to contact Etsy support, and they should be able to step in and help you with that order. Another thing that is very important to know about Etsy is that everything you add to your cart from any shop is going to go to the same place. And if you hit proceed to checkout, you are going to buy everything that is in your cart from every shop. So it does look like the checkout from only this shop button is still here, but you have to have an account and you have to be logged into that account in order for this button to appear. So again, if you hit proceed to checkout, you are going to buy everything that is in your cart. So how to avoid making unwanted purchases? So the first thing is going to be making an account on Etsy. This way you can save an item for later, or you can add it to your favorites, which is like a wish list. If you do not want to make an account, then instead of adding things to your cart, you can bookmark things that you might want later. You can copy the links into a text document, or you can leave tabs open in your browser. It might seem a little silly to go over this, but I frequently see cases where customers say that they never bought something and then they want to return it. So this is just something to keep in mind when you are shopping on Etsy. What to do if there is a problem with your order. The first step is to contact the shop owner. Again, Etsy really isn't responsible for a shop's items. However, they will step in if a shop is breaking policy or scamming people. I know it's easier to leave a low review and not have any contact with anyone, but if something is wrong and it's not what you wanted or it arrived broken, then you can try to exchange it, return it, or get a refund. Most shop owners want to help and resolve issues. Things like low reviews really hurt us, and as somebody who runs a shop, it is a bit frustrating to get a low review with no explanation why. Most of us want the feedback. We want to know what's wrong so that we can help make sure that it doesn't keep happening. Also know what you are buying and reviewing. I have seen plenty of cases where people will make negative comments in a review about aspects of an item when all of that information is explained in the description. So if there is a genuine problem with your order and the shop refuses to help or does not answer your questions, then you need to contact Etsy support. These problems include things like an item never shipping, an item arriving broken and the shop owner refuses to refund or send a replacement. So USPS packages that ship with priority mail are all insured, and a shop owner can claim up to $100 on those packages. So if this is how your package was shipped, then there really is no reason why broken items cannot be refunded. Shops love getting feedback on their products, so feel free to drop a review by going to Purchases or Review Your Purchases. A positive review can really make someone's day. However, if a shop is genuinely providing low quality, unsafe products or has poor customer service, then it's important to warn other shoppers of that. So here are some tips for writing reviews. Don't be afraid to be honest. Try to be in a clear, calm mindset so you leave an accurate review. Look over the listing. Read the description and other reviews on the shop in case there are some details you missed. Also, if there's a problem, try getting it resolved before leaving a review. Some things you might want to mention in your review could be item quality, customer service, or the listing accuracy. So does the product look like the photos? Some things you don't want to review are other shops on Etsy, Etsy's platform, or shipping carriers. For example, how long it took the item to be delivered. Alright, so those are my tips for shopping on Etsy. Just a reminder to be careful, do some research, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Alright, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.